Share screen. All right. So let's start. You know what? Let's start right here. All right. Let me move this. Bear with me. Okay. So I created a site because you may have noticed, some of you may have been here. A lot of people have already been to this site that I created, but it's everything you need to know about ePortfolios. And before I even get into more of that, what is an ePortfolio, which I promised you I would tell you. Well, and you should have this link. I'll make sure your professors have it, pass it along to you. It's Pathbright. Pathbright is our ePortfolio provider at Kendall, our ePortfolio platform. There are many of them. We like Pathbright because it has a lot of the features that we need, and it's fairly easy to use, but there is a learning curve. The biggest thing is I do not want this to be something that causes you grief. I am highly accessible. All you have to, in fact, for the past 4 or 5 months, what I've been doing that's been really great and really worked well is students contact me when they need me. They text the word Zoom, their name and the word Zoom, to my phone number, which again you'll have, and that triggers that you want to meet via Zoom. And usually within 5 minutes of meeting with one another, we can work out any issues or problems that you may be having. So keep that in mind. We want this to be an enjoyable experience. And that is one of the really good things that has come out since we started this in 2016 of the spring, is that it's a student-driven project. And what I mean by that is teachers want to assess everything. We have to assign, we have to evaluate everything. Well, up to this point, we've been able to avoid that. So it's very student-driven. It's you being creative and innovative. Uh-oh, there's some. Okay, I'm going to make sure you mute your mics, guys, and then I'll open it up for questions, okay? But anyway, in the second document here, it has the who, what, when, where, why. So it simply put, I'm going to open this up and download it. An ePortfolio is a showcase of your knowledge and skills that you acquired while you were at Kendall College that you're going to share with employers. Again, a resume is great. We all have them and everything, but this is a tool backed by research, by the way. We didn't just do this because we thought it was a great idea. We researched it, and we want this to be a part of the Kendall culture. And as we're growing and growing, obviously we're going to change and pivot as needed, because part of this is talking to employers who hire you. I do this with employers who hire Kendall graduates. I have done. I have dinners and whenever I'm on campus. I live in Columbus, Ohio, by the way. But whenever I travel to Chicago, I always try and meet with an employer who hires our graduates to talk to them. And what I do is sit down and show them an ePortfolio and say, is this useful? Is this section useful? If not, then okay, it's out of here. So we have to be flexible because we want this to be something that is actually, people are going to actually use, okay? So some reasons we have it are that over 80% of employers have said that they are using currently or are willing to use ePortfolios in the future. So obviously there's a real chance and it's a lot of colleges across the country and world actually are using ePortfolios and have for a long time. And I know my colleagues on the phone, I would venture to guess that at some point in their academic careers, they had to create a portfolio whenever they went through teacher training. The only difference for me, I'm an old guy, was back then whenever I graduated and had to do that, it was a paper portfolio or a binder. And it was just this big binder that you would stuff these photographs in, your lesson plans, all that sort of thing. And obviously now everything's electronic. So I think that's for the better because you can add videos, you can add, moving pictures of things, great things that you're doing that largely just sat in your hard drive, never to be seen again, are now brought to life in this ePortfolio, okay? Let me get out of there. Do you guys see that blue line? I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so, all right, here's the basic. And before I even go on anymore, let me stop sharing my screen for a second and pause. And I'm going to unmute everybody. Are there any questions so far?
No.
Okay. I have a question. Is everyone on here early childhood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe I should have started by introducing myself. I'm Professor Green. If I haven't met you, you will meet me at some point, I'm sure. Um, during your program, I work with beginning students in SOE 110, and I work with students who are seniors and getting ready to leave the program in the student teaching program. So there are two tracks, the licensure track and non-licensure track, and I work with the licensure students. But more than likely, we will cross paths, and I encourage you to reach out to me anytime. Okay, thank you. So we're all educators here. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so here's kind of the new look. All right, so whenever we started, we didn't have, things weren't very clearly defined, so I tried to put it together and organize it as much as possible. But again, now it's time to go back and revisit. It's just like whenever we teach our students a lesson and it bombs or it doesn't go as planned, you got to go back and think of a new way to do it. That's what I did. And this is kind of what I came up with. We're going to start off our freshman and sophomore years with a basic ePortfolio. And what that means is you're going to have these sections, which I'm going to actually take you to a portfolio and show you. What that means, there's a goal section, knowledge, competencies, etc. I'll show you those. And then your junior year, you're going to have an enriched ePortfolio. And what that means is it doesn't mean you have to start over. You're just going to keep adding to what you already have. So the thought process is you start as a freshman, you know a little bit. A lot of you have been teaching for a long time or working with kids for a long time. But we hope that as you go through your academic career that you start to add these new skills and this knowledge, and that's what you're going to add to your enriched portfolio. And then by your senior year, you have a final portfolio where you really, really think long and hard about what you want to show employers. And that's when we're going to have, more than likely, it'll be me or somebody else in our program who has a discussion with you saying, look, employers are going to are going to be looking for this. It's a good idea to include that in your portfolio. And the coming soon, I believe I'm pushing for, is what's called an exit interview. An exit interview is when you sit down with faculty members, administrators, and maybe even principals or other hiring managers, directors and things, and you use your ePortfolio as evidence of all the things that you know and can do. That is not live yet, but hopefully that's coming soon. All right, so let me let me just show you an ePortfolio, okay? That might be the best thing to do here. My account, and I will go to my profile, admin, portfolios. Actually, let me do this. Okay, so this is a culinary student portfolio, but it should give you an idea of, obviously as educators, ours is going to look different, but this is just to give you an idea of what this looks like. Okay, and these students I thought did an exceptional job. Obviously, you could probably imagine why a culinary student photos are important for culinary students. It's important for us as educators as well. Snapshots with our students, your lesson plans can go in here. Your philosophy of education statement could go in here. Your classroom management plan could go in here. But this is one of the culinary students, and what he did, I thought it was really great. I just absolutely love this picture, this first picture with this huge salmon. I mean, that's awesome. And I actually showed this very ePortfolio to an employer, and they were impressed. They wanted to know more because it was a professional endeavor. LinkedIn is great, and actually part of this, we ask you to create a LinkedIn account. If you don't know what that is, check it out. It's a way to market yourself. It's a hope is to give you a leg up in a very, very competitive job market, right? Because after all, you're spending a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort to come to Kendall. The last thing you want is to graduate and then not get the job that you worked so hard to get. That is what this is for. And I mentioned assessment earlier, and there is going to be assessment coming soon, but you are not going to be graded. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, you earned a blank on your ePortfolio. That's not what we're going to do. We are going to use it to grade ourselves as an institution. So what we're going to use is we're going to use your artifacts. You're going to have them graded in class as the artifacts are like papers, assignments, and things. And slow me down if I'm going too fast, because I forget sometimes that not everybody is into ePortfolios as I am. So I apologize if I'm going too fast. But so we're going to use the assignments you turn into your ePortfolio. They're graded in your class. All you do is simply click and upload them to your ePortfolio with PathBright, and then pretty soon you start to have this collection of your work. All right, so let me go to, why not just go to the School of Education? Here's what it looks like, okay? So you are going to log in, and there's a job material section. Obviously, that you want to add your resume. Employers want to be able to click on something quick, see your resume, think about how you apply for a job nowadays. If you look on Indeed.com, or you look on a website for a district that you want to work for, a school district you want to work for, you click on that link and search their openings, right? And then you send them your information electronically. So again, this is that other tool. And again, to go back to my fellow educators, we created these hardback binders back in the day. And on 20 interviews in my lifetime, maybe, I was asked maybe 4 or 5 times to actually show it. And now you may be saying, well, why in the world am I doing this? Well, the act of putting it together made me very, very prepared to answer, and really confident to answer any question they had. I would be asked about differentiated learning. Well, I put a section in my portfolio about differentiated learning so I could speak to that really quickly and naturally. That's one of the best things about this whole ePortfolio. And after you graduate, you can have lifetime access to it for free. So it can follow you. And I don't know anybody who likes to build a resume. That's one of my least favorite things to do. If you have all your documents in one place, it's kind of nice that you can add. For example, I just added the activities that I did in 2016 to my resume, and I had to think back, and you start to forget things because we all do so much. So just a couple reasons why I believe it's a good thing. So you can add your resume, any letters of recommendation, any job materials that you find relevant, you can add. And then the goal section. Now this is important because, again, it speaks to who you are. So your career goals, personal goals, and educational goals. A common question. Actually, my nephew, who's staying with us for a while, goes to Ohio State and went on an interview today, and that he was asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? That's a pretty common question. And it seems pretty straightforward and easy to answer, but if you go through this exercise of actually putting this in your portfolio and going through that process of thinking it through, you're going to be much better prepared to answer that question. So what are your career goals? What are your personal goals? And what are your educational goals? For those of you working at a daycare or family operated organization, your personal goals are important, but people want to know that you're a match. By far, schools, organizations spend the most money on bringing somebody on board, hiring them, and if it doesn't work out, that's a really big blow financially for them. So they want to hire the right person. This is a way to show that you're that right person. Okay, I'll stop and pause for a second. Any questions? I know I'm going fast. Alyssa, am I going too fast?
No, I already have one, so I'm fine.
Okay, cool. All right. And Dara, am I going too fast?
No, I would like to just step into it and show me how to make one.
All right, so I can stop talking? No, I'm kidding.
Just show us how
I will. I'll go real fast through the rest of the sections, then I'll show you how to start making it, okay?
It seems pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, but yeah, you're putting it all together well.
Okay, thank you.
Neil, maybe I can stop and ask a question now. What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right. How soon would you think it's a good idea to begin building an ePortfolio?
I think I know that SOE 101, which is a new course, a lot of those students, that's their first course at Kendall. They're starting to build then.
Great.
I think the important thing is, what I would like to see is a progression over time. So obviously, as you grow, you can start replacing, revising, editing. whatever it is at the end of the day, when you're a senior, ready to share this with your principal to get hired, I want it to be your best work, right? And
Right.
you need guidance for that. And that is one of the changes that I've made to this program as well, which I'll show you in a second. So great
Wonderful.
question. But so I think it's a continuous process, continual reflection on you as a professional, as a teacher, and a student. So that I wanted to grow with you.
Great.
I'll just describe these sections quickly and then move on. The knowledge section, competency section, and value section are the three that will build the most with you. Knowledge is where you show what you know. Let's say you read about Piaget in one of your classes, famous or other, educational theorist. You do the research, you read the book, you read the report or whatever, and you write a paper or you create a presentation, or maybe you create a short video. That is something that you learn, so you would put that in your knowledge section. Now, maybe even more importantly, in all the research that I'm doing to kind of support this and justify even doing ePortfolios at Kendall College, employers feel that there's a disconnect between graduates and their competencies, which are their skills. So great, you learned something, but what can you do, right? So for us as teachers, lesson plans, I believe, is a skill. And by far, it's the skill that you'll be doing you'll spend most of your time at school planning lessons, and at home planning lessons, and in the summer planning lessons. So that would be a competency. I suppose we could argue that it could go in knowledge as well. And there is some flexibility there, but we can talk about that if you ever have a question about where you should put it. That competencies are, classroom management could be a competency. So you have your rules, you have your routines. It could go under knowledge as well. But these competencies like unit planning a long-term unit would be something that employers are interested in seeing. And then finally, the values section is, that at first here's where I made a mistake. I thought values, okay, what are your non-negotiable values is what I asked the 400 students before you. Like, what's important to you? What are you not willing to compromise on? Like integrity, honesty. But that was not necessarily what I should have done. What I should have done, our institution has certain values that we want our graduates to have. We hope you have, like high ethical standards, a growth mindset. And I won't read them all, but the plan is down the road, and I'm going to show you called a course menu. And so if you're taking Professor Kaiser's course, and this is just hypothetical, one of your assignments will be marked as an ePortfolio assignment. And let's say, wow, that would go great in social responsibility. And all you're going to have to do is upload it right to the values section with social responsibility. And hopefully let me show you the menu, and that'll help make sense. Okay. Cause that's where I think it gets a little fuzzy, not just for you, but for some of the other instructors I talked to. So let me go back here. All right. My account, my profile. Okay. So back to this. And when you come in here, notice when you get this link, if you haven't already, early childhood is section 3. Everything under here is early childhood related. So whenever you see this symbol, that blue and red symbol with Kendall College, that's when you know you're creating your ePortfolio in the right place. Okay, it's only for School of Ed students, just as there's one for hospitality, culinary, business, and I even created one for our Gen Ed students who may be undecided. So by far, the School of Ed are the leaders with this. And let me explain what I mean. Open this up, and you guys can still see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what a great group of listeners you are. I just had to say that. Okay, so as you can see, and Diane, I have to add you, I think, here. And we can do that. We can talk about that. But this course menu is, if you're taking SOE 101, in week 4, there's a Strengths Quest assignment. This ILO section is for faculty and administration, so don't worry about that. But I found I didn't want to tell students what to do, because again, this isn't about, if I tell you what to do, they're all going to look the same. That's not the point, right? The point is that for your individuality to come through. But how do you do that? And I say, okay, listen, just go for it. Do what you want to do. And then who knows what they're going to turn out to look like, right? So I had to provide some guidelines. So for SOE 101, week 4, the Strengths Quest could go into values, experience, or competency section. So I give you choices on where you could put it. And then say you're in SOE 110. Well, actually, let's go to Professor Kaiser's class. So weeks 2, 5, and 7, you guys have lesson plans. You could put that easily in the competency section. That would be a great addition. And then I think you also have a final reflection, right? Because I taught that course for a while, but I think there's a final reflection in week 10. That could go into your ePortfolio. So all of these courses are listed. The week, the assignment, and then the section where you could possibly put it. If you feel really strongly that you'd like to put it somewhere else, that's fine. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's okay. You guys will not hurt my feelings if it doesn't, because I understand this is something new. Okay, now let's get to the question of signing up. Okay, so please write this down, because whenever you go to this section, this site, you'll see the table of contents, which is self-explanatory, and then section 1. Under section 1, you'll see this Kendall College symbol, and it'll be signing up codes for students. All right, click on that, and again, you can view it in like this, or you can download it. And I'm going to download it, and I'll tell you why. Again, in addition to that course menu that I showed you to give you direction, pretty soon the thought is to add this little icon to your syllabus. So whenever you see it, you'll know, okay, wow, that means that there's an ePortfolio assignment in this class that I could use. So that'll be even more direction to help you. But to sign up, if you've signed up for or purchased anything online before, it's basically that same process that you already know, which I know a lot of you already probably know how to buy something online. It's the same thing. Yeah. I'm not saying you're buying anything. It's already paid for, but that's the same kind of process here. But what I did, this document shows you exactly step-by-step with screenshots how to do this. Pathbright.com, and then you sign in or sign up here if you have not before. Your Kendall College email address is your username, and then you pick your own password, one that you'll remember, obviously, hopefully. And then you can create your profile, and here is where it gets a little different this time around. These codes, obviously you are all in the School of Ed, so the School of Ed code is right here, that SOJK. You can copy and paste that, right? And then you will go down, and whenever you see this, you'll know you're in the right spot. You'll know you're in the School of Education ePortfolio, okay? So that is how you sign up. Let me go there and show you this. All right, let me go. All right, I have to log out, and I'll log in. I created several accounts through the year and a half or whatever of doing this. My son, who's turns 4 May 9th, has about 5 accounts. So, all right. So after you get signed in, you'll see your profile, which you can edit. You can change your picture if you like. You can click a new picture and add your name and all that sort of thing. Save and next. Add information about yourself. All right. And now, let's say you want to, like I said, signing in. We're going to pretend, since I already, for our example here, we're going to pretend we are culinary students, but you get that code that I just showed you, and you copy and paste it, or you click Create Portfolio and join portfolio using code, and you paste it here. Click the arrow, and boom, you are in the Kendall College School of Culinary Arts ePortfolio, and you can start working on your portfolio right away. But obviously you're education students, so your cover, or whatever you would like to call it, your cover image is going to be those adorable little kids with the globe. So let's go in there and get started, okay? You click on, there's an overview for you, and with my contact information, like I said, I'm highly available. I work on ePortfolios almost every day, if not every day. So I'm happy to talk to you about it. So let's say you're in here and you are ready to add your lesson plans from Professor Kaiser's class. And I'm picking on Professor Kaiser because that's all I can think of right now. So, so you click on the competency section because you say, this is something I want to show a principal that I can plan lessons, because I don't know what they're going to ask a culinary student in an interview, but I do know as an educator, they're going to ask you about lesson planning. So that's something you want to show. Pick your best lesson plans. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to kind of write them. So pick your best ones, and that's what I suggest adding. So let's pretend I'm ready to add my work. I can see the teacher's example, right? And everything has an example. If you click see teacher's example, I'm logged in as a student, by the way, so this is what you'll see. Every single assignment has an example that you can put in there. Or give you an idea of what to put in there. But let's say I'm ready to add my resume to this section. I click upload work. Okay, if you use Google Drive, they have several opportunities to use different things like Facebook, YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, great, you can add that simply by clicking YouTube. And all of these other things I would suggest right now, and the difference between this and Facebook, by the way, this is a very professional representation of yourself. It's not you on Facebook going to Bermuda for spring break, right? This is a professional. You want to make sure that everything is very professional. And I say that because, again, this is one of the mistakes I've made so far for this past year, was leaving things kind of open for our students to create. One student, not from early childhood ed, added a paper, which I'm sure was great, but it was about the legalization of marijuana. So that's not something that you want to share, or a controversial topic like that you want to share with a potential employer. You want to put something that is very professional, very safe in this environment. You know what I mean? All right, enough about that. So my advice is to start using, if you use Google Drive, you can click on that, and you have everything from your Google Docs or your Google Drive saved in here. And as you can see, there's my little guy right there. And whatever you want to import, you can click it and then add it to the portfolio, and it does it for you automatically, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm finished adding items. So I'm ready to upload work. Also, write text is exactly what it sounds like. If you want to write text, you click on it, and a little, I guess, word processor shows up, and you can just simply write your text in. You can add links if you want to add some links, and then save, and then it'll automatically populate to your ePortfolio. I'm going to scrap changes. But what I suggest the most to you, if you don't use Google Drive, a lot of people do, some people don't. If you don't use Google Drive, my suggestion is to use My Computer. Click My Computer. It's just like adding an attachment to an email. So if you're like me, see, I have my spring 2017 folder. So I have SOE 110, I have ECE 465. If you organize it like I do, great. Hopefully you're probably more organized than I am, because that's not my forte. But let's just say I have something from 465 that I wanted to add. Let's just pretend this is my resume. Okay, I'm going to click it. I'm not even sure what that is, but let's just click it. And I'm importing the item. As you can see, it's going through space right now, whatever. Whoops. Sorry, that was a student calling me. Yeah, I'm totally accessible, guys. So it's uploading there. And there it is. And now, to complete this action, I have to click Submit Now. And then this is the mini reflection. It's like, what if you saw this a month from now? What do you think? How would you feel about this? What would you rate yourself? So much like a 5-star movie rating, you rate what you just put in there. So how would you rate that? and then you give it your rating, and then just 1 or 2 sentences about why you gave it that rating or why you think just your thoughts essentially. Okay, and then submit, and you'll see this thumbs up. That means it's in there. Okay, and now bear with me. I'm going to just add a few more things really quick to give you an idea of what this could look like. I'm going to go to job materials, upload work. And then the great thing is, after you start creating for a while, the My PathBright tab, if you click on that, everything that you do in PathBright, every single thing you do is saved. So you have access to it at all times. You can click, I'm just going to click that cute koala bear, import him over. Again, submit now. Submit anyway, give me my 5-star rating, my 1 or 2 sentences, submit, and it's in there. All right, everybody loves a koala, right? Values, let's say I'm ready to submit something there. I'm gonna go to my computer. Let's say I'm ready to put my little guy Stewie in there for some reason. So I'll click submit now. Rate it, and I'm just going to do one more after this. I do my reflection, submit, and once you see that thumbs up, that means you're good. And then let me do a goal statement. Okay, I will add from my computer. I'm going to pick something, and I hope you guys understand these are all just examples. They're not actual things that I would add. I'm just doing this as a demo for demo purposes. And of course, I picked the biggest file to upload, right? But it's going through, and once it does, I can do my reflection. Then I'll show you what this looks like. Oh boy. Okay, submit now. My star rating, 1 or 2 sentences on how I think my future self would see that, or my justification for that artifact. All right, and it's in there. By simply clicking this little eyeball, I can preview all that work that I just did as a portfolio. There's the Q koala. There's my other career goals document sample that I put in there. There's the other documents. There's my little guy Stewie. And as you can see, you can make comments. I'll make comments to you as you build your work. You can like it like Facebook and that sort of thing, which we're all kind of do with social media. So it has some cool features. Then you should notice that right off the bat, it already starts to look pretty nice. It formats it for you. But if you click edit, you can change the layout just by clicking the button, patchwork, pyramid, however you want to design it. You can change the theme, like light, dark. I don't know what, I guess that's resume. I'm not sure. It looks like dark to me, but I don't know what that means. But whatever floats your boat with that. Okay, let me go back. And then eventually, you're going to want to share this document with your professor or employers. Just simply click share, and automatically your portfolio is set to private, right? So you can change those settings and make it public if you like, or you don't have to. But let's say I want to share it with Green. This is my Gmail account, gmail.com. I can add a personal note. Good luck, right? Test. And I'll click share. All right. Okay, your invitation has been sent. So whenever I open that up, I would see a message from you, and it'll have PathBright's logo on it, and it'll say you've shared a portfolio with me. I can click on it and open it up, and your professors will be able to as well. All of that, what I just mentioned to you, is in that document right. Whoops. Now I got to log back out. Well, wait, before I do.
Oh man, school education.
Before I do, let me stop for questions. How we doing? Am I going too fast, too slow?
I'm good.
Good? All right, that's good. I like that. You were the only one I heard, so I'll take it. What was I going to show you? So let's say 2 years from now, you have this awesome portfolio. You're a junior getting ready for your senior year, and you look at that cute koala and you say, yeah, he's pretty cute, but he's not me anymore. I'm not that koala. You can click update your submission, okay? And then replace. Sorry to the koala, but he's got to go. And now I'm going to go to Confucius. I'm going to put import Confucius in there because that's more of who I am now. So all you do is click that, replace, and submit. And you got to submit. And your 1 or 2 sentence reflection, submit. And now Confucius is in there. Thumbs up. All right. And you have all your versions saved. So let's say even after that, you're like, I like Confucius, but that's not me. I'm going to go back to you click that version 1, there he is. And you can go back and forth and change that as many times as you like. And you should know your employers will only see your latest version. Your instructor or your professors will be able to see all your versions, but employers will only be able to see your latest version. Okay? All right, I'm going to log out of here, and I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon and open it up completely.
What you think about that video? Oh,
This is hard to demo because I have to log in, log out, and remember where everything is. But hopefully, I'm making sense. So those documents I just told you about. Remember, you have section 1 is where I created a video for you. It has the who, what, when, where, why we're doing this, and then it also has your codes, your code, I should say, that you need on the college thing. And then you go to how-to guides. It shows you, I'm not going to open it up. It goes through, I created a video for you on how to share the documents like I just showed you. Gives you screenshots on how to do that. And then the FAQs. If you have more questions that I didn't answer, I created a frequently asked questions document. And those codes are there again. I'm trying to put them everywhere. I created a video for you to basically do what I just did on signing in or signing up. And I'll also post this video for your teachers so they can post it to you. How you update. I created several videos for you on how to add artifacts like I just showed you, how to update your profile. And if you have already started a ePortfolio with PathBright, I even created a video for those students, those 400 students, 409 I think today, who already have. You just click that My PathBright tab, and everything that you've created is saved. So it's very easy to move this around and get it to the Kendall School of Ed portfolio. But I think this document's good. It has my information and how to contact me. Again, text the word Zoom is the best way, immediate way to get in touch with me, why we're doing this, and a little bit more descriptions of the sections there for you. And about grading. So really, this was like speed round, so I want to stop sharing and just stop talking, if that's okay. Jasmine, I see your face. I see you smiling. I really don't like to talk this much. Ask me some questions.
I was a little confused, but once I get like into it or whatever, and like put it on, make it myself, I'll get used to it or whatever, and then I have like my questions to see what I can do and what I can do and how to figure it out.
All right. Okay. So in my classes, I have something called the 15-minute rule. What that means is I ask my students to try to figure something out for 15 minutes on their own. If they can't, contact me. My goal is not to make your life miserable, okay? It's to help you. And this is a great thing. This is really, and again, I'm asking employers, do you think this is valuable? They're saying yes. It's easier for me to get in touch with hospitality, employers who hire hospitality or culinary students from Kendall. I do, and I have talked to directors of daycares. I sat down with them and showed some of our School of Ed portfolios and walked them through it and asked what they thought. And they were like impressed. They said if somebody came into my daycare and had this, I would be blown away, and they would have a definite leg up on the competition. I don't know how I got off in this tangent. My point was, Jasmine, call me if you get stuck. Okay?
I will. I have one personal question. So did you make this on your own? Like, was this something that you?
I did that on my own. Yes. So the backstory is the provost tapped me to. I'm a professor for the School of Ed, but I'm also a member for the Center for Teaching and Learning, and that for Kendall, and that's what I'm coming to today, representing the Center for Teaching and Learning. So we do innovative projects and things like ePortfolios, and you might hear Ready for the World. I'm a part of that as well. We just won a laureate award for a proposal that we wrote for one of the most prestigious awards at Laureate. So we're extremely excited, and brought a lot of money in to fund our project. So, and ePortfolios is a part of that project. So we're doing a lot of really cool things, and this is one of them.
Oh,
So
that's
that was a little
amazing.
shameless self-promotion there. So sorry, Karen.
Oh, good job.
Thanks. Yeah. So
Question.
yeah,
Are you the one that does the 101 videos?
I am.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me they're boring? Because
No.
hey, you try and make Blackboard videos exciting. You know, I mean, there's only
No,
so
I was
much-
not going to say that. I just was trying to make sure I connect the person with the person.
I am. I actually wrote that course. Mindy Fiala is teaching it now. She's awesome. And you know, we work really close together. But the thought was with SOE 101, before we were asking students to come in to Kendall and be like, okay, it's your first week. Read chapters 1 through 5, write a paper on Aristotle, you know, upload it to Blackboard. Good luck. And a lot of our students were failing before they even started. And it wasn't, it was our fault. It was our fault. And finally, years of conversations about that, we had some space where we could add a course. And
I could tell. It's we need all that help because it's like I'm new to all of this.
Right.
And we needed to know that, you know, we get the extra help. I can see the video and say, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Oh, that's where we're supposed to go. So and the one-on-one course is a great tool for us to use. So I think it's good.
And with you in the one-on-one course during week 4 or 5, I can't remember. I think 4. You'll be with me again. We'll meet again, and I'll walk you through what we just did, and we'll kind of work together. So we'll be meeting. Are all of you? So you're 302 students, 101 students. What else?
I'm 101 and 112.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. So you have Mindy and Professor Doyle. They're both really good friends of mine, and you're in good hands. So that's great.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good so far. So I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. What about the instructors? What do you guys have for me?
This is Diane. The other
Yeah,
students are
Diane.
Mikey and Alyssa and Portia.
And Diane, what's your course number again?
ECE 250, Infancy Relationships.
ECE 250. Okay. And what's the major assignment in the course? If you,
There's
I'm
two
sorry, I'm off the cuff, but
No, 2 towards the end, the last 2 weeks. There's one where they do their ideal documentation strategy or their ideal program, and then the last one is they do a live family interview.
there you
And
go.
then their final.
That's
We
huge.
got it. We're going to be ready by week 9.
That's huge. And those are the perfect things to put in your portfolio. So, guys, I can't tell you how many colleagues that I've worked with. I started off teaching 5th grade. I can't tell you how many colleagues I worked with who were teachers that were deathly afraid of parent-teacher night, right? Like, they're like, what am I going to say? And I never understood it. But going through that exercise, it sounds like, I mean, I don't know, I haven't taught 250, Professor King, but it sounds like, practicing, that's going to prepare you for that parent-teacher night so you're a little more comfortable. And going through that and showing that you have that ability is definitely attractive to hiring managers. So it's well worth putting that effort in. So I will definitely work with you, Professor King, and make that happen. And I have to thank the School of Ed faculty because other programs have been slow to adopt ePortfolios, and I feel like I have to sell a lot, and I'm not really a sales guy. I'm just a professor. So without question, we're leading the way, and I should have started with School of Ed in a much bigger way. But when I reached out for help and asked for help, you guys were there for me, and I appreciate it. So I will always be there to help and make sure that this runs as smooth as possible. And just thank you. And Professor Kaiser's been helping me out for a while. And Karen, thank you for joining as well. So questions. Or are you sick of me talking yet? I could keep going.
No, it was
Keep
very,
going.
it was very helpful.
What do you think, Portia?
I like it. It was very helpful. I'm going to try it out. Try it out and see what I can come up with.
You guys want to give it a shot? So
Yeah.
start it. Whoops.
Seems pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the way you walked us through, I know what to add and what not to add and which categories. No, that was great. I know.
Okay.
I got a good idea what to work with. And if I have questions, I see you're easily accessible.
Yes. And you know what? If you put a lesson plan in the wrong place, is it the end of the world? Not really.
No.
Not really. Right? I'm telling you guys, I would not even want I wouldn't want to do this if I didn't believe in it. I do. And my favorite day, believe it or not, and my favorite day as a teacher, I told you I work with the seniors in 465, is when they call me. And first they tell me they passed this assessment called the EdTPA, which if you haven't heard of, you will if you're going to be a licensure student. But that's another discussion. Let's not talk about that. Is when they call me and they say, Mr. Green, I got a job. That's the best day. And or they ask for a letter of recommendation and they ask advice on where they should apply. That is fun to me. So that's what I want for you. And I think this is a tool that'll get us there. So, all right. So start. Let me. Last thing I'll say, and then I promise I'll stop. Share screen one more time. Start with this Kendall College ePortfolio site, and section 1 to explain what it is, getting signed up, and then section 3, early childhood. It tells you, the courses we have so far, the course menu. These are the courses we have so far, the week, the assignment, and where you could put your that assignment. And then don't forget on the bottom, the how-to guides and FAQs. And if you start there, you're in good shape. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds good.
I really thank you for being here. I look forward to working with you with this. And then we'll talk about, teaching at some point as well. So I look forward to working with you all, and keep in touch if you need me. Have a great night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.